In this short video, I would like to show you a very nice user-defined function that you can use with your PHP forms. And I have a small form with 3 text boxes. If you recall, we want to make sure that when the user enters data, it does not contain any special characters which could pose a security risk, and we want to make sure there are no spaces to the right or left of that value. We already did this in a similar assignment, and we had to use the trim function and then the HTML special chars function. Now, if you were working with a form that had a lot of text boxes, you would be repeating these 2 functions over and over again. So whenever you find yourself repeating code, you might want to think, is there an easier way to do this? The answer is probably yes, and the answer would involve using a function. So here I have my function, and the name of the function is test_input, and I have one argument, which is represented by a variable. Inside that function, I am executing the trim function and the HTML special chars function. Notice I am using the variable, and I am assigning the value, which is trimmed, back to that variable, and then I am using that variable again, executing the HTML special chars function and assigning that value back to that variable. Now I am using the return statement, returning the value of that variable, which will now be trimmed of extra spaces, and any special characters will be converted into HTML entities. So rather than writing out this long line of code, I can very easily call this function and pass it the name of the form element using $_post. So this is what I'm doing for my 3 form elements, storing the value returned into the variables, and now echoing back the variables in the body section. I would like to point out that this form uses a postback so that the result will be on the same page as the form. So now I have entered some data. Notice in the name I have the script element and my name Teresa. Notice in the email I have a lot of spaces between a text word. And now in the phone, not only do I have spaces, but I have 3 special characters. When I click submit, and I purposely made the background color yellow so you can see that there are no spaces in front of the email or the phone, therefore those spaces have been trimmed. Now you might wonder, why am I seeing the script tag? Why am I seeing the special characters? Okay, let's think about this. We are looking in the browser. We are looking at the result of the code. If you look at the source code, you will see that indeed these special characters have been converted to HTML entities. Therefore, if they were to be executed, they cannot cause any damage. However, we still see them in the browser. So this is a nice function that you might want to use on your web pages, and you might consider storing it in an include so that you can just call that function whenever you need to use it.